Hey, Justin Abel here with STL Tones. On today's episode of the Mix Creative Series, I'm going to take you through how I've been implementing the ControlHub Tracer in my newer mixes. So let's get into it. So the tracer's been out for a little bit. I have just been loving it. By the way, I'm using a different mic today. There's contractors upstairs adding a bathroom like almost directly above my head so that the people that I work with, the artists that come here to work with me, have a shower because people haven't had a shower here before. So I'm using this mic to hopefully isolate myself from hammering above me. So forgive me. But anyways, the tracer has just been awesome. Ironically, the tracer has been making me use hardware or analog gear more to capture it and make it into something that I can just use in plug-in format. So for example, I always have a reamp box set up on my desk. So I have guitar pedals, mostly drive pedals, some compressor pedals that I like, that I've just been kind of one by one going through and making some traces that I really like as I'm working. And it has just been awesome to add new flavors to ControlHub and kind of, you know, you're constantly, it's kind of the same feeling when you're making drum samples. It's like you're just adding arrows to your quiver and adding different flavors and stuff that you're kind of being your future self's best friend. I really see making traces in the same way. So I've been really enjoying it. This is a newer song that I just did with somebody. It's actually a cover of the song The Great Escape by Boys Like Girls, but this is the artist that is playing it is Andrew Serino. Great friend of mine, incredibly talented, and we just did a reimagined version of this song that's a little bit more acoustic guitar based and just kind of a modern take on that song. So let's go ahead and jump into Pro Tools. Okay, so here's the session. It's laid out the same as every other song that I've done for the Mix Creative Series. This is how I do it. So it's just a bunch of folders. Everything is within the folders. For this song, it's actually programmed drums. It's not a real drum kit. It's just mostly drum samples that I've made. And yeah, this is what it looks like. There is ControlHub all over this. So I kind of have examples all over the place, and I'm really, really liking how it sounds. So I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the sound I'm talking about. Okay, so here's what the final mix sounds like.
Paper bags and plastic hearts, all our belongings in shopping carts. It's goodbye, but we got one more night. Let's get drunk and ride around, make peace with an empty town. We can make it right. Throw it away, forget yesterday. We'll make the
Okay, so you get the idea. Later on in the song, it goes a little harder.
throw it away, forget yesterday. We'll make the great escape. We won't hear a word.
So cool, fun song. The first example, and to me, the one of the coolest things that the tracer has done for me is I have traced the hardware that I use on mixes. So in this case, legitimately, this is the final mix session. I did not use my hardware. I used the plugin. I was using it during tracking or like the production of the song, and it sounded awesome. And I swapped out for the hardware like I normally do when I started the mix, and then I started A/Bing, and it was shocking to me that I almost preferred ControlHub over my hardware. Maybe because I just got used to the sound of it on the production, but it sounds awesome. So yeah, here is, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute all vocals, and we can let's go to a second chorus. Here's without. I mean, it does it. It does the thing. I have used the Clariphonics and this Wes Audio Dione for probably 5 or 6 years now. And ControlHub just nailed it. The Tracer nailed it, and it makes me so excited. I have been talking about and thinking about moving away from hardware on my mix bus forever. And I just can't believe how good it is. So that's the first example. So second example is vocals. So on the vocal bus, this is a trace I made. It is the Pettyjohn Electronics Deja Vu, which is a mic preamp. And this specific channel has a Jensen transformer. It's kind of API-ish, mid-forward. And when I traced it, I was running it hot, but not too hot. You know, it was just giving a lot of the vibe without any distortion. So I've been putting this on vocal bus and really, really enjoying it. So here's the soloed, how about soloed lead vocal bus?
Forget yesterday, we'll make the great escape, and we won't hear a word they say. They don't know we're saying.
Yeah, I love how it sounds. It's one of those things that adds a little bit of a presence boost, like a little bit of a mid-range boost, a little bit of like, yeah, mid-range weight without being very obvious. And that's the kind of thing that makes me super excited about the Tracer. Like it really just kind of, it can take something that already sounds good and add that extra 2% that makes it sound great. So absolutely love that. The other thing I was doing is on this third, let's see, Vox Throw 3. Let's see what this is. Okay, so this is that transition. It's a transition between first chorus and the second verse. So this is just a little Vox throw. So without it. Oh, and it's a mono track, so it's going to come through just the left side. I guess I can do this. Okay, and then with ControlHub on. So, and just like that, something that would normally take me probably 3 to 5 plugins, takes me 1 plugin. You can see I'm using a preset I made that's called Piano Lo-Fi Squeeze. So it wasn't even made for a vocal, but you throw it on and it sounds awesome. Okay, so moving on to guitar, I have another lo-fi example. I made, let's see, this is Vox lo-fi on a guitar. Again, something that was not even made for guitar sounds cool. So here's the guitar. Here's the guitar without the plugin on. With the plugin. I probably literally pulled this preset up and just said, hey, that sounds like a lo-fi guitar. I like that.
Tonight will change our lives. It's so good to be by your side. We'll cry.
Yeah, just so good. I think the thing, I mean, I say it a lot in these Mixed Creative videos, but the thing that really excites me about ControlHub and now about the Tracer is that it's not my goal to make music faster. That's not the goal. But the goal is to make the technical process of making songs as invisible as possible, especially when you have artists in the room. And ControlHub really does a good job of doing that, because if I need a really fast lo-fi vocal, I know that I have 5 really good presets that I've already made that I can just go in, bum, 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 and it's probably going to work. It's probably going to sound great, and the artist will probably love it. And so, yeah, I've just been really enjoying having the Tracer as an option. Moving on to acoustic guitar. I think I only use the Tracer for acoustic guitar, which is just excellent. So, okay, let's see. So here's the intro guitar without anything on it. So good sounding guitar, double tracked. Definitely a little too fluffy. So here is a preset called Acoustic Strummy that I made. And sounds really good. I'm sure that I changed the EQ a little bit. Even now listening to this, I feel like maybe there's a harmonic that I should probably have removed. It's that one. That technically does sound more even. Okay, next acoustic guitar. Without. I mean, it's just taking the acoustic guitar to another planet. Again, I feel like that 1K tone, I should have done that in the mix. But we're not too mad about it.
One more night, let's get drunk and ride around, make peace with an empty town.
Yeah, it sounds so good. It sounds exactly like how I want an acoustic guitar to sound because the trace is of my signal chain that I normally use. However, it's saving me all the time of having to pull up all of the plugins and get me somewhere that would sound basically identical to that. So it's been really, really, really cool. Oh, okay, and I think I did something different on this last one. Yes, so this is a cool example. So you can see I'm using the same preset for, this is an acoustic guitar part in the bridge. Without anything. And you can see I tailored the EQ to this because I didn't want it to be too bright. But the original compressor I was using was the CLA 76, which I like that, but sometimes for finger-picked acoustic guitar, it's a little bit aggressive. And so I went in and I was able to grab a compressor that I actually got from Tone Exchange, which is the L Ray, which is Greg Wells's signature compressor. And yeah, it's really slow and a vibey compressor. And so now I have my acoustic guitar preset, except with a completely different characteristic for compression. And I thought that it suited this really well. Just sounds great. And please forgive me, I don't remember who made that, but you can grab it on Trace Exchange. And if you're watching this and you made that, thank you. And you made this song sound better, so thank you. All right, and for this last example, we're going to look at drums. We're gonna look at drum bus, and so I have kind of two drum buses happening. I have all of the shells, so kick, snare, toms, going to a shells bus that then, with the cymbals and parallel stuff, is getting fed into my drum bus. And if you've watched any of these videos, you know that I'm a distressor guy on drum bus. I love how distressor sounds on drum bus. So I happen to have a distressor, and if you watched the ControlHub product video that I made, you watched me make a preset like this. It's called a merged preset. I can do a quick crash course on what a merged preset is. So I first went in and I made a preset that is called distressor disc 2 or disc 3. That is not capturing any, there's zero compression happening on the distressor. All I was capturing is just like the harmonic saturation of the unit. And then after that, I turned off the distortion mode and dialed in the compression that I want and did a compressor trace by itself. And so at the end of that, I captured the harmonic character as a complete signal chain trace, and then I did the compressor as a compressor trace so that I could then, load up distortion 3, and then I can go into here and load up, I have a bunch of different ones now, but I loaded up this distressor 20:1 preset that I traced with my distressor. So once you do that, you have the best traced piece of gear that you could possibly get. That's a merged preset. Once you make that, then you can press this button, which is a save as basically, and you say distressor with with compression, or whatever you'd want to name it. So this has taken the place of all of my Distressor plugins. I love the way that this sounds. I think that it absolutely nails it and does everything that I could want it to do. So here are just the shells. I'll turn off both instances of ControlHub for now. So this is just the shells. And with ControlHub. So really, it's kind of a subtle move, but it's just kind of polishing, tucking things back a little bit, and making things a little bit more exciting sounding. Okay, and now let's go ahead and just solo the entire drum bus. And we'll hear, this is the overall drum compression happening, which this is the exact same setting. Yeah, and I really enjoy just kind of messing around with the threshold and seeing where the sweet spot is. I mean, usually for drum bus, what I'm looking for is for the snare to be hitting as hard as I can, and basically don't hit any of the kicks. That's essentially what I'm looking for. Yeah, you can see that the kick is just barely hitting, like probably 0.5 dB or 1 dB, And so I think that that's sounding really good, and it has effectively replaced a lot of other plugins that I have used for years. So just awesome. Another win for ControlHub. So that's just a quick look at how I've been utilizing the ControlHub Tracer in my everyday work life. It has just been awesome. I love it. It is really fun to dream up new ideas that I haven't had yet and make traces that are useful and utilizing stuff that otherwise might be sitting on a shelf until, getting used one time a year. This makes me, use the gear a lot more, even if it's digital, which is really exciting to me. So thanks again for watching this video. Drop a comment below if you've been using the Tracer, if you've been, on the Trace Exchange. Let me know what has been the coolest thing that you've found or the coolest thing that you've made. If you haven't been uploading your traces to the Trace Exchange, please do. I would love to check it out. So yeah, drop your username below and drop the preset, and I would love to check it out. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the STL Tons YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of the awesome content that's coming out and the awesome products that are coming out. And this is a monthly series that I do, so check back next month for the next episode of the Mixed Creative series. And until then, have fun.